SLBC News, thank you so much for joining us. We begin with a transportation story. The Minister of Transport, Alhaji Fanditure, has disclosed government's intention to collaborate with private entities to tackle transportation struggles in the country, even though the 50 buses will commence operations soon. He made a statement during the launch of the Maripoma Group of Companies Vehicle and Equipment Rental Services at the Garrison Blue Hotel at Aberdeen in Freetown. Sulaiman Ture reports.
The rides are very comfortable across the country, and they say that country is a very nice country. So we don't build hotels. We make sure that the vehicles are available so that tourists can drive around our country in comfort and then use very reliable vehicles, very confident that they will get to their destinations and come back to Freetown safely to catch their flight back and go and tell very beautiful and memorable stories about Sierra Leone.
The issue of transportation in Sierra Leone, especially the capital Freetown, has been a serious challenge as private and government institutions put more effort in addressing such. Minister of Transport Alhaji Fanditure said that the 50 buses which set for operation were just a step to the 200 buses the government intends to provide in solving the country's transportation crisis. He registered government's reliance on the private sector to address transportation challenge in the country, which the move by Maripoma Group to bring more vehicles, he said, was a step in the right direction.
So I would continue to urge Maripoma, like the ECOWAS speaker said, that the resources you have in Ghana, if you can continue to invest more in Sierra Leone, and you have rightly stated it, that we have a very conducive environment for investment. So we're asking other investors to also come in and join Maripoma because they've set the pace and we want others to follow too.
Minister of Lands, Turat Senesi, encouraged the CEO of the company to extend his investment in the land sector and registered government's readiness to support foreign investors who want to contribute to the social and economic development of Sierra Leone. Being one of the biggest contributors to Ghana's transportation boost for the past 20 years, CEO of Maripoma Group of Companies, Honorable Muhammad Ayariga, said their coming to Sierra Leone was as a result of President Bio's intention to enhance infrastructural development of the country, adding that they had plans to bring more investment opportunities.
And we also noticed that the investment climate here is very good. And even more, we noticed that the people of Sierra Leone are very hospitable people, welcoming of strangers and making them part of their own. And that urged us to expand our investments. And so we decided that one area we want to support the country with is to bring in more vehicles and earth-moving equipment to support the various sectors of the development of the country. We have a fleet in the country. The first fleet we brought in was about 65 pieces of equipment ranging from bulldozers, tipper trucks, graders, all sorts of equipment. Most of them are at our road construction site. Just last week, we also cleared about 64 pieces of equipment, some of which are being displayed out here.
The Ghanaian High Commissioner to Sierra Leone, Wowoyo Agyemen, appreciated the initiative by Maripoma Group and emphasized on the technical inland benefits of such investments. The Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Tunis, commended the company for the work they are doing in road construction and improving the quality of transportation. He noted that they will utilize Maripoma vehicle rental services when ECOWAS Parliament's seminar session commences in Sierra Leone. SLBC News, Sulaiman Ture reporting.
Executive Director of Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, Karl Ibrahim Tomi, has recommended a citizen-centered and speedy constitutional review process. The Executive Director made the call during an engagement with government officials, civil society leaders, women groups, and also development partners to discuss the nature of the progress on the constitutional review process and to also identify gaps and also provide recommendations for the ongoing process. Mohamed Toure has the details.
We still have a set of concerns about the white paper, and we believe that if a new constitution is passed without reflecting some of those concerns, and in any case, these concerns are not about all for civil society. They may have been expressed by us, the concerns may have been raised by us, but if they are included in our constitution, they will only make our constitution better. They will only protect the rights of citizens, including even government officials. Which is why it is important that they step back, engage with a sincere willingness to ensure that those views are taken on board.
The Executive Director of Center for Accountability and Rule of Law is calling for a constitutional review process to be reflective of the views of citizens, civil society leaders, women-led groups, and political parties as well, indicate that it is essential that the process inculcate the recently developed recommendations of the Justice Kawa White Paper. Ibrahim Tomi informed the gathering on the accepted and rejected recommendations in the 2021 Justice Kawa White Paper from a slide presentation. The participants desperately informed members of their current positions and needs that they should be included in the process for an inclusive and reflective constitutional review process. The participants desperately inform members of their current positions and needs that should be included in the process for an inclusive and reflective constitutional review process.
Now that we have an opportunity to review this constitution, we have to take into consideration those controversial issues that are raising over the years having to do with the Constitution. We would know to have a new Constitution, then in a short while we have to go back to the drawing board to see what we can make an amendment towards the Constitution.
As far back as March 2016, a cross-section of women came together to develop the Women's Solidarity Response and final recommendations for the CIC draft version of the February 2016 Waiting Salon Woman and Wants Nadi Review Constitution. The recommendations were the outcome of a National Women's Conference in which we examined the CIC reports and commented on it.
So in this constitutional review, despite the fact that I belong to a political party, as a Sierra Leonean, I would love us to address pertinent issues around guaranteeing the rights of the citizens of this country. We are still struggling with providing good health facility for our citizens, manage and allocate our natural resources. These are all issues that are hindering the progress and development of this country that we pay very little attention to when it comes to constitutional review.
Sierra Leone National Constitutional Review process started nearly 18 years ago, and although progress has been made towards a new constitution, the process remains incomplete and faces modern turbulent times. SLBC News, Mohamed reporting.
Now, Social and Behavioral Sciences Lead for Child Health and Mortality Prevention Surveillance Program in Bombali District, Abdullah Usman Bam, has called on health-related organizations to support in the fight to end infant and maternal mortality in the country. He made the call during Focus 1000's health volunteers collaborative visits to Cambia, to Bombali and Kaine Districts. Sulaiman Toure has more.
Over the years, Sierra Leone has recorded high rates of infant and child mortality rates without much knowledge about the cause. Hence, the formation of a research-based program known as Child Health and Mortality Prevention Surveillance Program in 2017 by 3 organizations including Focus 1000. Through this project, samples of the dead infant were collected and tested using modern techniques known as minimally invasive tissue sampling from their research so far. CHAM's program manager, Bombali Abdullahi Uthman Ba, said the cause of death for majority of the infants and children was malnutrition, malaria, lack of management techniques by pregnant women leading to stillbirth after the child would have suffered from suffocation and sepsis, among others. Roughly, Mr. Ba said, from 2019 to date, they have conducted over 400 tests, but the number, he said, did not include every child in the district.
Upon receipt of all of these results, we back it up with the clinical records of the child, including the verbal autopsy interview we will do with the mother. When all of them are put together, we call it a DICO packet, and that DICO packet is sent to experts from Ministry of Health and other people who are residing outside Sierra Leone. They will have to review each of these cases to see what led to the definite cause of death of the child using the ICD-10 code of the World Health Organization.
To address the issue, he added, they have trained hundreds of nurses, provided emergency drugs for the Makeni Regional Hospital, and mentorship, among others. CEO of Focus 1000, Mohamed Bailo Jallo, believed that lateness or refusal to go for antenatal care, poor support from partners, and bad breastfeeding habits were the other causes. Usman Ba saw the visit of the former Health Peace Corps volunteers as a blessing for more collaboration in the international stage. Due to their efforts in helping the communities they were stationed during their 2 years in Sierra Leone as health volunteers and social workers, Dan Smith and Scott Owata were honored with chiefly titles, and they expressed gratitude for such gesture. In another development, Focus 1000 has launched their global initiative geared towards creating space for international partnership in achieving their goals. During the launching, CEO of Focus 1000, Alhaji Muhammad Bailo Jallo, said, in as much as they try to achieve their local goals, they need international partners to score that goal, especially health.
Scott is running one of the biggest programs in America for homeless Americans or citizens there. And he has a lot of experience in dealing with that. So in fact, he can also bring in his own experience in helping us develop programs that are robust, that we can sell to international donors for support. So that's why I'm so happy that we have them today here to concretize this relationship.
The two former Health Peace Corps volunteers, Dan Smith and Scott Owata, promised to do their best in finding ways and means to connect the organization with universities and organizations in the United States of America. Representatives from various ministries in the country and international and national health-related organizations expressed delight over such moves by Focus 1000 in trying to improve the health and agricultural sectors in the country and pledged commitment to support in that direction. SLBC News, Sulaiman Toure reporting.
You're still watching SLBC News. I am Abdul Kabir. Continue to stay with us as we go in for more stories. Now, as a way to reduce the number of waste going into the ocean, the Daily Scope newspaper has led a cleaning exercise on the Leone Beach environment. Our reporter, Christina Kamara, has more in this report.
As ocean pollution can have severe consequences for marine life, making efforts to minimize pollutants entering the ocean is vitally important. Co-proprietor Daily Scope newspaper John Wa described the cleaning campaign, which will henceforth be done at the end of every month, as a way to sensitize the general populace to come on board and clean the environment for the benefit of everyone.
We've started today to clean Leone Beach, and we'll be moving to other areas to inform citizens, to sensitize them, and to participate in cleaning activities with them in order to get them active and involved, and conscientize them about the environment, global warming, and the rest of it.
lecturer of the Frabe College and director of communications USL, James Tambalebi, who was part of the exercise, commended the organizers for taking a such move and appealed to every Sierra Leonean to come on board in taking care of the environment.
Taking care of your environment is part of corporate social responsibility. And this one, it fits very well and sits very well into the general needs of the population. When you look at the beach, you look at how it is littered, and you look at the role they serve in society, it is what fitting.
A staff of the Daily Scope newspaper, Mohamed Dauda Kamara, highlighted how important it is to reduce the number of the pollutants entering the beach. Taking care of the coastlines and oceans is essential for the well-being of both wildlife and people. For SLBC News, Christiana Kamara reporting.
And now, EcoBank has for the first time launched vehicle financing drive in partnership with Sika Motors. The journey that started in 2023 seeks to ease transportation constraints among their customers. The scheme will cater for people with different income categories nationwide. Cynthia Kamar reports.
EcoBank has frowned at the numerous challenges their customers are faced with regarding accessing transportations, especially those staying in the far east of Freetown. Hence, the need to partner with Sika Motors was worthwhile. The journey, according to Sales and Marketing Manager Calvin Hans, started back in 2023, ensuring they solve transportation constraints with quality cars and easy financing to acquire the cars.
The vehicle financing scheme will be a nationwide scheme and available to all who meet the vehicle financing criteria. This will enable a wide scale to reach not only private sector workers but also government workers. I am confident that this will lead to a successful change in livelihood patterns for Sierra Leoneans across the nation.
The collaboration, according to Kate Thompson, head of customer banking EcoBank, is more than a simple business venture, but rather empowering individuals and families to fulfill their dreams. Managing Director of EcoBank noted the desire to improve customer experience and values. Other speakers emphasized the difficulties they get for people to purchase car with cash. Hence, there is need for EcoBank to offer such services to make life easier for their customers. The product enables EcoBank to meet the credit needs of individual customers within their target markets, ranging from employees, from reputable multinationals, local cooperatives, public institutions, health sector, education sector, insurance, among others. For SABC Newser, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
About 800 women died from pregnancy and childbirth every day across the world. This is according to UNFPA's country representative, Nadia Rashid. Madam Rashid said this alarming figure makes reducing maternal mortality one of the most pressing global health challenges. She was speaking at the Median Maternal Health Research Conference, which is aimed to advance maternity care in Sierra Leone through research, innovations, and collaboration. Emmanuel Samura has more.
Sierra Leone was among the countries with the highest maternal mortality rate, with 1,682 deaths per every 100,000 live births. With research, collaborations, and innovations, Sierra Leone has been able to reduce its maternal mortality rate by 443 deaths per every 100,000 live births, making the country a center of attraction for reducing maternal mortality. One of the innovations used was Well Body Partnership Cradle Program, which the program's manager of Well Body Partnership, Edward Businge, said the cradle is a small device that measures the heart rate and blood pressure of mothers.
It has a novel traffic light system such that if a mother is likely to be healthy, it shows a green light. And if the mother is not very healthy and needs more checks, it shows a yellow light. And if the mother's condition is severe, it actually shows a red light.
Deputy Minister of Health too, Dr. Jalikatu Mustafa, said it took the country 20 years to make such gains. She said that they are now more than determined to reduce the numbers in less than 20 years. The reason they are keen on investing in research to produce enhanced maternal health outcomes.
Clesta is something we're very proud of. It's a wonderful, innovative app that tracks every pregnant woman up to delivery stage, flags high-risk pregnancy, and enables timely interventions to ensure positive outcomes.
The United Nations Fund for Population Activities country representative Nadia Rashid said that reducing maternal mortality is among the most pressing global health challenges, of which an estimated 800 women die from pregnancy and childbirth every day, adding that for every woman or girl who die, there are 20 or 30 more who experience injuries, infections, or disabilities. Nadia Rashid, however, said that most of the deaths are entirely preventable if women and girls have access to critical services before, during, and after childbirth, and if they receive quality, respectful care, including timely life-saving prevention kits when complications arise.
So research, innovation, and collaboration are critical to achieving progress to address this target and essential on sustaining and building on our gains. And that is extremely important, that we need to ensure that we keep that focus on sustaining and building on gains on the road to the SDG target of less than 70 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births by 2030.
Coordinator of the National Institute for Health Research and Capacity Research Innovation Building Maternity Systems, Dr. Alexandra Ridout, told the health researchers not to presume answers, but should be humble to reflect on the things that are not known, the gaps, knowledge, and provide answers to improve on maternal health outcomes for mothers, their families, and babies. The Maiden Maternal Health Research Conference was an opportunity for health researchers to discuss research innovations that have been implemented in Sierra Leone in a bid to further improve these innovations for enhanced outcomes that will make them useful and effective in other parts of the world. Emmanuel Samura, SLBC.
Minister of Health Dr. Austin Dembe has said that mobility is a significant tool for frontline workers to reach out to unreachable communities in addressing health challenges in rural communities. Dr. Austin Dembe made the statement during the handing over ceremony of 4 Toyota Land Cruisers to the Ministry of Health by Care International to the German government. Auna Patrick Kamara has more.
The 4 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser from Care International to the German government was to support the 4th District Health Management Team to do their outreach and surveillance activities. The Health and Program Director, Care International Sierra Leone, Dr. Sylvester Ipagulu, said the support came from the German government to Care International Sierra Leone to improve the operations of the health system at the district level. Country Director, Care International Sierra Leone, Rachel Wolf, said the support is to enable the frontline team to be able to achieve their ambition for a good healthcare service delivery and will also enable health workers across the 4 districts to reach out to people in remote communities.
We know that for the DHMTs to do their work, they also need to be able to access their catchment area, the full range of the district. And every district has so many areas that are difficult to access. These vehicles in particular will enable the DHMT to access particularly those villages during rainy season where the roads are difficult, as well as to get around and make sure that they see what is happening from day to day.
The German ambassador to Sierra Leone, Jens Karus-Massi, described the support as unique and noted that the decentralization of the support provides equal opportunity and better access to service delivery for all. He said the German government will continue to support the Ministry of Health in ensuring reliable healthcare systems are provided for the people. The Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Dembe, told the donors that health is among the 5 pillars of the government, adding that healthcare services are essential in achieving the government's human capital development drive.
And as we speak, we're looking at how do you take health to everyone. Health is not you building, 4th floor you building. Although we practice health every day, you have to climb 4 stairs every day. But health is actually what happens in the community, at the districts, at the sub-district, at the chief level. And so for us to be able to give folks who are working at the district the tools that will allow them to take healthcare directly to the people is an incredible, incredible opportunity. So I want to thank the ambassador. I want to thank the German people for this benevolence, this generosity, this spirit.
He lauded the German government and Care International Sierra Leone for supporting the ministry with mobility in order to make frontline workers reach unreachable communities. The district medical officer, Bo District, Dr. Amara Stephen Ngeba, said the mobility support by Care International Sierra Leone will help them achieve their goals and ambition as the district's health medical team.
One of the key challenges we have is access, mobility, supporting our patients, supportive supervisions, ensuring that we are able to provide supplies, trainings in hard-to-reach areas, in difficult terrain. So this is very, very critical in helping us improve that access and in supporting the operations of the district to ensure that we deliver on the ambitions of the Ministry of Health. So that we can together have the quality healthcare that we are talking about, the increase in access to quality healthcare, and improving the outcomes for health, which our minister is understanding. We are very sure that this will make a significant difference in the lives of our people in the district.
He said meeting the people in their localities would help them identify the actual problem that causes certain diseases and, at the end, identify solutions to tackle the causes of those diseases. For SLBC News, Auna Patrickama reporting.
Executive Director, Environmental Foundation for Africa, one of the managing entities for the Tiwa Island Wildlife Sanctuary, has said that in order for domestic tourism to thrive in Sierra Leone, people need to connect with nature and protect the natural environment for future generations. Tommy Jarrett made a statement during a site visit by Ministry of Tourism and its partners for various universities across the country. As part of the 2024 Tourism for All campaign, Dennis Fraser has details.
Natural habitats are the biggest part of the nation's tourism sector, with diverse tourist attractions. Notable among them is the spectacular and fascinating Tiwa Island, in continuation of its ongoing campaign geared towards creating awareness about domestic tourism, exploring and discovering touristic sites. The ministry, through its development partners, took students, administrators, and lecturers from different universities to have a first-hand encounter and also a good impression about the thriving natural landscape of the island. As they went across the Moa River, it was a moment of excitement for the team while embarking on the beautiful and well-meaning adventure in the earth of domestic tourism. They were later received by the Executive Director of the Environmental Foundation for Africa, Tommy Jarrett, and a team of experts from Jala University, who took them on a conducted tour of the island.
This densely forested area is a natural habitation to a collection of species. Be it primates or non-primates. You will see a lot of wildlife on the way, even though we are told that we might not see them if the place is noisy. But from a distance, you get to hear a lot of natural noise from wild animals.
A big sigh of relief soon followed as the team finally reached the sandy beach in the middle of the island. An administrative staff of the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Madam Aminata Kamara, used the occasion to speak to fellow citizens on the benefits of domestic tourism.
The fact that we targeted the tertiary institutions, all of us know that they have a greater space in social media. They have followers. So with them being ambassadors of tourism, we know they will educate their colleagues, their friends and families about tourism. They will help us to give them the awareness that domestic tourism is really thriving.
Many governments in developing countries, including Sierra Leone, expect economic and social benefits from tourism development. The recent executive director of Environmental Foundation for Africa called on the government through the Ministry of Tourism to continue to support the island for the promotion of domestic tourism.
The benefits of an informed population of Sierra Leone about the value of places like Tiwai Island. Because if the vast majority of Sierra Leoneans hear about Tiwai, with it emotionally, what effectively that means is that more and more people really start to value nature. Started working here about 20 years ago. One of the main challenges was the road conditions. It was really difficult to get here.
The island, which is situated between Koya Chiefdom in Kenema District and Bari Chiefdom in Pujehun District, has been in existence for over 6 decades and was an important landmark in the country's history with a critical ecosystem and that has a rich biodiversity. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Many thanks indeed to Dennis Fraser. And now it's time for the sporting update that keeps you in the know. The game in the country and to equally change the football ecosystem in the country, the Sierra Leone Football Association is working on 4 artificial turf pitches across the country. Well, according to the president of the FA, Thomas Daddy Boema, they are really working to change the narrative in terms of growing Sierra Leone football. Here is a snippet of an interview done by the FA.
For that the 4 football pitches for now is going to change the dynamics of Sierra Leone football. 4 is part of the FIFA 2.0 funds that Gianni Infantino provided to member associations for development of football. We have used ours to develop football pitches. This is the football headquarters in Sierra Leone, and we are not only doing this, we are doing coordination field in Bo, and of course we are in Port Loko. Port Loko is very close, it's strategically placed between Lungi and maybe let me say the center of the north, and of course we are in the Eastern Approved School. People have been yearning for this project. We will do some renovations in the diamond-rich town of Kono, floodlights, generators to power the floodlights in the night. I think this project is going to change a lot in Sierra Leone football.
If you check them, you go see, say, we are better together.
Far before I came, Madam Aisha Johansson, I know for sure, she could have loved to do all of this. She started it, so I will share the praise with her. It's been a wonderful working environment for me. I've worked with the staff of the Sierra Leone Football Association, the executive committee members. They've been very supportive.
Upon completion of these pitches, youngsters who are aiming for top career in football will play football with ease. Now, Jumaba is one of those youngsters who is open to excel in football at some point. He recently had a call-up to the national under-20 team of Sierra Leone. He expressed delight in this interview.
My county proud because I'm gonna be part of the squad. So if I be part of the squad, I'm gonna make my county be proud, and also I'll make my family to be proud, and also my manager. So of course that was very much difficult, but anyway, it is good to be mingled with some players because it was national duty, players from different clubs coming in, so I just have to adopt with them because there is no way. So I just have to be used to them because there is no way to be let me say, there is no way to be out of the squad, or there is no way for me to not mingle with them because of course, because I have been with the national under 17 before, so, and I thank God it is my past coach that is also in under 20, so I'll be cope up fastly. I'm dreaming almost to have international contact because that was my aim and motive, to have an international contact, and I believe in the next 2 years, not in the next 5 years, I will have a professional contact. What I'm looking for my starting space, that is one, and to prove my country as a player, to tell them that I deserve to be in the national team. First of all, I thank God for everything because He brings me here. So I will thank God a lot because this is not an easy task because there are many players, thousands of players. So God chose me to be one of them.
And all the best to Jumaba and the rest of the team. And that's the end of the sporting update that keeps you in the know. To end the news, the main points again. Minister of Transport Alhaji Fandi Toure has revealed more plans to tackle transportation challenges in the country. Executive Director, Environmental Foundation for Africa, has appealed to people to preserve the environment in order to make tourism thrive. And the Executive Director of Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, Carl Ibrahim Tomi, has called for a citizen-centered and speedy constitutional